Hello and welcome to UBC News Tonight, today on the 26th of March 2023. Let's take a look at our top stories of the day. In schools attracts learners in Karamoja. General Kainerugaba launches monthly cleaning exercise in Entebbe. University alumni to build a law school block at Nkozi University. And Pascon Awards makeovers to top women athletes. A very good evening once again. My name is Sharon Chandisha and welcome to UBC News Tonight, coming to you live from the Now Avenue. In our UBC News Tonight, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Kataha Museveni, has met the Ambassador of the Republic of Cuba to Uganda, Rwanda and Kenya, Dr. Tanya Perez, with whom they discussed further cooperation in the education and sports sector. The meeting took place at State House, Nakasero. Senana reports.
Between the First Lady and the Cuban envoy took place at State House Nakasero and was also attended by the State Minister for Sports, Honorable Peter Ogwang, the Vice Chancellor Ambara University of Science and Technology, Professor Celestine Obuo, the Chair National Council of Sports, Ambrose Tashobia, and the National Council of Sports General Secretary, Dr. Patrick Ogwell. Others were senior technical officers from the Education and Sports Ministry, led by the Director for Higher Technical Vocational Education and Training, Dr. Jane Egao. Mrs. Museveni talked about the historical cooperation between Uganda and Cuba and particularly lauded the work done by the Cuban professors to train doctors at Mbara University since its inception in 1989. She said that because of the humility and skills imparted by the dedicated Cuban professors to the doctors as they work with the communities, those trained from Mbara University have a good name and a comparative advantage over many trained elsewhere.
When they have a hospital in a place, they ensure that the hospital works with the community. They have people who go to different places to attend to people, to check on children, to do all things without waiting for people to be sick to come to the hospital. They ensure that there are different doctors going to every area, that the areas surrounding the hospital, so that instead of waiting for people to be sick and come to the hospital, they go to the homes and check and know how people are living, their health, their nutrition, their sanitation, everything, children. So really, such a method of work, it would do so much for us in this country. Instead of waiting for people to be sick, to all converge at the hospital and wait for very few doctors, if we had such a method of work, it would do, and so no wonder that they do so well. And they plan so well. If anybody has any problem in this village, the hospital knows about it before they complain. So they plan for it. When the person comes to the hospital, they are planned to take care of their problem.
The First Lady requested the Cuban Ambassador to explore the possibility of her government cooperating with Uganda's education sector in the area of skills development and technical education by training the trainers, who will in turn train instructors.
The Cubans do their work in a unique way. So I'd like to explore through you, Madam Ambassador, how we can tap into that area of technical instruction, technical education, with hands-on people who train, the trainers, for instance, in the area of road construction and dam construction. It's an area I would like you to consider and see whether there is any way we can cooperate in that area also.
The meeting also talked about renewal and deepening of the cooperation in sports between Uganda and Juba, especially in boxing, which Juba has been supporting for some time, now through the training of local coaches, so as to develop the boxing sport in the country to a greater level. Ambassador Tania Perez said the Cuban government is ready to receive the technical delegation and proposal from Uganda to renew the bilateral cooperation in sports.
In terms of education, it's very interesting because we are sure that we have many potentialities in order to share the better experience. In terms of Embarara University, we have a long history, an important political cooperation,
Right.
very important, is now the only bilateral cooperation project between Uganda and Cuba.
Okay.
So we need to defend it.
Honorable Peter Ogwang assured the process of renewing the cooperation in sports in full gear. Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
Now, teachers in Karamoja sub-region want water extended to all schools in the region, which will improve the learners' enrollment and performance in schools. This is evident in schools where UNICEF and COICA partnered to implement the WASH program of extending clean water to the schools' enrollment and performance.
Karamoja sub-region is a water-stressed area. In the districts of Amdad, Kotido, Kabong, Moroto, Napak, Nakapiripirit, Nabilatuk, and Abim, most learners have to study half-day and walk several kilometers to fetch water. In schools, both learners and teachers have to stand in long lines with the community members waiting their turn to draw water.
The students even walk for over 5 kilometers to look for water. So that time lag when they are supposed to be in class and looking for water accounts partially for the bad performance, the poor performance we have in Karamoja.
And one good thing with this water, they are always there. They are not like this water of national water and sewage corporation. They are always there. The only challenge is when the environment is when the weather is not all that clear, when the sun is not there. That's when we miss water. Maybe that's when we can go and make water there.
They are not brought. We used to fish in this bowl, and even that bowl was used for those people in the center to fish. So this water has provided us. It has provided us for washing, bathing.
During this time, many learners engage into bad habits like drinking alcohol, and others develop anti-education habits.
They had to move 3 kilometers from school to the water point looking for water. And in between school and the water point, there were very many things happening to these girls. Like some of them were branching to drink. They ended up coming when they are well drunk. And even others, they drop out of school because of the interferences by the outsiders whom they...
Line of discipline. The children will go under the pretext of picking water, but then they will divert to other things. And then they will come back very, very late. So with indiscipline, of course the performance was also very bad.
Girls hated school, more especially during their menstrual period. This increased poor performance and school dropouts in many schools.
When we had no water, we could just go back home, and by the time when you come back, you find that lessons are...
number of girls is more than the number of boys today. If you go to attendance, you do what you find. Girls who always have scorned schools because of other situations of theirs, today things are normal for girls as a result of this water.
Now, UNICEF and COICA have partnered to support government through WASH program by improving water access.
The taps there, the tanks, the water is got some 2 kilometers away from the school. and then that water is pumped to the school for entirely school use. This water has helped a lot, first in the school in so many ways. One, I told you the enrollment was 84 because the students could not come. Most students feared the situation at school where they had to look for water. So when the water was brought, the enrollment shot up also. The school enrollment has improved. As I talk now, my enrollment is about 535. But 2022 last year, we had an improvement. We had 2 Division 1s, a good number in Division 2, and also a good number in Division 3. So out of the 48 students that sat, over half of them qualified to go to the next level, which was very good. And all these are attributed to the presence of this water.
We have gone schools because of other situations of theirs. Today, things are normal for girls as a result of this water.
In some schools like Loro Primary School, Pokot SS in Amdat District, Lokitelob Primary School in Kotido District, learners were taught to make liquid soap. Over 60 schools in Karamoja sub-region have benefited from solar-powered water systems.
Meals, during meals time, our children again do not take long to wait for meals. Meals are served in time, which has eventually improved the service delivery in the school. Teachers report to their classes without delays. Children also do the same without delay. So issues.
When we are in our administration, it has helped us a lot. Those days when we had no water, we could just go back home, and by the time when you come back, you find that lessons have gone ahead. And one good thing with this water, they are always there. They are not like this water of national water and sewage corporation. They are always there. The only challenge is when the environment is when the weather is not all.
However, teachers and learners explain the challenges they face.
Accommodation for our girl child. Right now, we have decided to allocate 2 classes to accommodate the girls because the available dormitory is not enough for them because of the increasing population.
Teachers and learners want the WASH program to be extended to all schools in the region. Teachers say once government extends water to all schools in Karamoja, learning will improve.
I would appeal that let the government make sure that these institutions get water, and that will help them so much, help the institutions. And in the end, it will uplift the performance in the school.
WASH program is being implemented in 8 districts in Karamoja sub-region.
The Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Operations General Muhoozi Kainerugaba has rallied Ugandans to desist from littering garbage. These were part of General Muhoozi's remarks as he launched the national-wide general cleaning exercise in Entebbe City dubbed Bulungi Wansi, which is going to happen every last Saturday of the month. Onyango reports.
By 7 a.m., border operators had already gathered in Kampala City to activate the Entebbe General Muhoozi trip. The trip through the city center and along Kampala-Entebbe Road left a long traffic jam for some good hours. Led by the National Vice Chairperson, Western Uganda MK Movement, Barama Rugahara, team made a triumphant entry into Entebbe City. The tree planting campaign that was graced by General Muhoozi Kainerugaba was among the many activities by the MK Movement team and members of the general public. as he chose to tour around Entebbe to appreciate facilities like markets, taxi parks, among others. This moment left business and traffic on a standstill for close to 1 hour. Cheers, chants and dances lit up the day. Later, General Mwanafunzi Kainerugaba addressed the general public at World Grounds in Entebbe City.
We shall be holding this on the last Saturday of every month. They say cleanliness is next to God. We have a responsibility to maintain clean bodies. And a clean environment. If you do not maintain clean hygiene, as a person, all kinds of diseases will affect you.
General Mwanafunzi Kainerugaba challenged Ugandans to champion the cause for preservation of the environment.
If we do not maintain a clean Uganda, our standard of living will also not be good. I urge all the forces of the mighty MK movement to embrace the practice of Mwanafunzi. We are also going to be planting trees. Every Mwanafunzi day we shall plant trees. Trees are the key to a good environment.
He further notes that it is through such communal activities like Mwanafunzi that Uganda can be a better place for all.
Please never litter. Don't litter. Let's not be like people who throw bottles out of cars, buvera out of buses and taxis. Let's not be like that. First of all, who is going to pick up all that kasasiro? You are destroying our beautiful country. It's better for you to wait for a dustbin and throw your rubbish there.
Present were MK movement leaders, local leaders, among others.
We as the MK movement are not looking at only cleaning the outside. We also want to clean the system, we want to clean the act, and we want to ensure that we have a clean, safe and corruption-free country.
We thank MK for bringing this good idea of cleaning your city, your community.
The intention is to preserve the environment and also to make our Uganda clean and smart forever. That's what he's looking at. You can't be a leader of a dirty country.
If I can compare with Rwanda, I've been to Kigali, and if you go there, the city is clean. And it is really the best thing to do.
General Mwanafunzi Kainerugaba will now be heading to Kitgum district on Monday 27th March 2023, where he will be expected to interact with the regional leaders. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Robert Onyango. In more stories, the Minister of Information, Communication, Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Mwanafunzi, has pledged government support to non-government organizations which come up with noble causes of serving humanity. Mwanafunzi was addressing the Lions Club of Kampala as they commemorated the 28th Charter Night.
Studies in Uganda report a high proportion of undiagnosed diabetes at 49%. This is one of the 5 global causes the Lions Club International is putting emphasis on to reduce this disease burden. As they commemorate 28 years of service, the Lions Club of Kampala Central say they have managed to reach out to thousands of vulnerable people for treatment.
We also identify focal areas, and in that respect, we have 5 global causes that we focus on in addition to other areas, and these 5 global causes include diabetes, vision, childhood cancer, environment, and hunger and relief, where we've been running different camps in different parts of this country, screening people with difficulties in eye, giving them reading glasses, and even doing cataract surgeries wherever they are required.
The Minister for Information, Communication Information and National Guidance, Dr. Mwanafunzi, officiated the function and commended the work done by the Lions Club International towards ensuring better livelihoods.
Some people think being a member of Lions Club, being a member of Rotary, is because you want to show that you are rich. No and yes. No, it's not a sign of being rich, having money, but yes, you want to show that you are rich at the heart. At the heart. That you can make a contribution to mankind. And therefore, you are doing the right thing, helping humanity, and more so touching on issues which affect the day-to-day lives of our Ugandans.
Minister Mwanafunzi pledged government support to the Lions Club of Uganda in completing the Lions Club of Uganda Center in Bulyankuyege near Bombo. He also supported the fundraise drive for Bulyankuyege Lions Center with 5 million shillings.
So like I said earlier on, we shall be with you throughout the journey. Even if there is another event, we shall come. Even if you're asking us to do mobilization wherever we are, we shall definitely, because this is a good cause, which is definitely good for everybody. But for today, I will leave you with the 1 million shillings, and then I will add it 4 to make it 5.
Wow. Lions Club International District 411 Big Governor, who is also the former Minister for Teso Affairs, Christina Poro Amongin, said the club is organizing a malaria run which is aimed at creating awareness about malaria. 10 intending lions were initiated in the Lions Club of Kampala Central.
And we are supposed to have a walk, a malaria-free Uganda. The Deputy Speaker of Parliament will be the chief walker, and we are mobilizing lions throughout the country to come and walk. We need a malaria-free Uganda. So,
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Mary. By 2025, all upper secondary learners will be allowed to take breaks or sit for each subject at a time with a completion time frame of at least 5 years. Now, the proposed upper secondary curriculum currently under review will also replace general paper offered A-level with contemporary subjects that are skills-based. This will be in accordance with the revised education curriculum amendment of 2021.
The National Curriculum Development Center is mandated to innovate, evaluate and assess procedures of learners to meet the dynamic educational curriculum needs of the country in compliance with the ICT revolution. It's also mandated to nurture children to meet the technological dynamics in the education industry and the job market.
We have our children where some of them have had challenges here and there, and we don't want to block them out. Because we want an education system must make sure you catch that 99 sheep. Don't lose anybody in the system.
In the new proposed upper secondary curriculum, currently under review by the National Curriculum Development Center, learners will be allowed to take breaks or sit for each subject at a time with a completion time frame of at least 5 years. This is intended to accommodate students who have faced financial hiccups or girls who will have accidentally dropped out due to pregnancies.
But to bring on board some of the learners who may not be strong, some of the learners who have special education needs, that they may not be able to sit these papers, all the 3 in one sitting. Then we are saying, well, you can have up to 5 years to do your A-level and your results are considered. It's also good for our colleagues, the ladies.
According to the Director of Secondary Education, the curriculum also proposes scrapping of general paper and replacing it with the contemporary subjects that are skill-based. The upper secondary learners will be required to sit for only 2 mandatory career subjects, which will be substituted with at least a contemporary subject.
Introducing the contemporary studies to capture some of these emerging issues like climate change, things to do with functional literacy, things to do with the epidemics that recently we went through.
The proposed curriculum will also have students assessed on subject performance basis and results carried forward. The National Curriculum Development is already engaging key stakeholders in the education sector and the key implementers on the review of the upper secondary curriculum. In the achievements registered from the NCD amendment of 2021 for the lower secondary include the successful localization of education and implementation of skills learning under the Directorate of Industrial Training. The first cohort of the competence-based learning curriculum will sit for the final examination come 2024, and these are expected to form the first cohort of the upper secondary.
You cannot copy a Cambridge curriculum here, and then you want your child to have a certain way you are molding him or her. You want him to learn about Nakaima trees and Mubende and appreciate. You want a patriotic child who appreciates the beautiful Uganda.
In commemoration of the 50 years existence since 1973, the National Curriculum Development Center will hold the first ever international conference on curricular development from 26th to 27th April 2023. The conference, expected to bring together both national and international educationists, will be held under the theme Reconceptualizing Curriculum in the 21st Century for the Socio-Economic Transformation internationally. Susan Naung and Kenneth Tanner reporting for ABC TV.
The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, has said Uganda won't yield to threats and utterances by foreign governments following its decision regarding the anti-homosexuality debate and passed in Parliament. Now, Mao made the remarks at the launch of a fundraising event for the construction of a law block at Uganda Matters University by the institution's former students.
The Minister for Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, and the incoming president of Uganda Matters University Alumni Association, Bernard Robinson Mugaru, have officially launched the fundraising campaign to construct a law school block.
The Deputy President, outgoing.
During the event held at the university campus in Kozi, Norbert Mao said Uganda shall not be moved by utterances from the Western world following the passing of anti-homosexuality bill by Parliament. The founding Vice-Chancellor, Uganda Matters University, urged the alumni to stay united for the betterment of the institution and put interest of the community to the forefront than individuals.
Uganda has a duty and a right to define its moral boundaries and defend those boundaries. And we are willing to engage with the international community constructively. Many of us are Christians, and we are wondering why many people want to insult God. Why would you call God an idiot? God is not an idiot. There's a natural order that God has established. And I think on the basis of our motto, for God and my country, it is our duty to define those moral boundaries and to defend them.
The Vice-Chancellor, Uganda Matters University, cautioned the new board to always aim at raising the institution flag high.
I've been fortunate to have really linked up very well with the Alumni Association. Their attitude, their desire to make a difference at home is palpable. I feel it as a Vice-Chancellor, and I would like to thank you and commend you and encourage you to continue, because we have to move Umu.
It all started on the 8th of October 1993, when, together with Mr. Bernard Onyango and the Pioneer staff, we received our first 84 students. It was a very moving moment, because for years the idea of a Catholic university had been brewing in the minds of so many people. And finally, a group of dedicated ones, under the chairmanship of the late Professor Chalwazi, obtained the go-ahead of the Uganda Episcopal Conference to set up the university.
Robinson Bernard Mugaru, the incoming president of the Uganda Matters University Alumni Association, shared his expectations about the Low Block fundraising campaign.
We are here to recognize the handover, what you would call inauguration of the new UMOA board. And that board is led by me as the president. The Alumni Association consists of over 30,000 alma maters. Those are individuals that have gone through Uganda Matters University.
Philip Aguta and Ivan Juko for UBC News.
Members of Parliament from Tororo have expressed their dissatisfaction over the delayed release of parish development model funds to parishes in the district. The legislators say over 17 parishes have to date not received funds, yet the financial year is coming to an end. Now, the remarks were made during a fundraising drive for market vendors, the youth and the church in the district, organized by the Member of Parliament for Tororo Municipality, Apollo Yeri.
Friends, it's over a year since government launched the poverty alleviation program at household level, the Parish development model. But in Tororo, about 17 parishes have not yet received the funds from government.
Kwapa sub-county, we have four parishes that have not received money. In Kwapa Town Council, we have 2 parishes that have not received money. In Kayoro sub-county, we have 1 parish that has not received money. In Mela, we have 1 that has not received money. And many others across the district. So we want government to fast track the money to come to those parishes also, and those circles prepare for this money to be absorbed at the same time.
The members of Parliament also expressed concerns as to why government has only released 32 million shillings to parishes that have so far got the funds. Yet, she pledged to disband 100 million shillings to every parish in every financial year.
The people in the village have not got all the money as promised. Money must be given 100 million shillings per year. Some parish have not even got. We are now going to the 3rd year. We need the money for the last 2 years. People have been waiting. People have been footing to the district. As much as permitting to deal with the corruption. Deal with the corruption once people have got all the money promised. Our people have sacrificed the little resource they have. Other component of parish development mode also need to be implemented. Like in Toro County North, every day groups are waiting for the balance of the money that was promised.
The Prime Minister, Robin Anabanza, assured the residents and the legislators of Tororo of looking into the issue of as to why some parishes have not received funds to date.
And PDM must succeed. If there are parishes which have not got money, we are going to work around the clock and make sure that they get the money. Come with 20 million shillings.
The remarks were made during a fundraising drive for market vendors, the youth and the church in the district, organized by the Member of Parliament for Tororo Municipality, Apollo Yeri, where over 200 million shillings was raised.
The woman who sells vegetable, the woman who sells the tomatoes, the woman who sells the onion, the woman who sells the boar, that woman there. How do we raise some money so that he can have the capital? How do we raise some money for such a woman? Because even 100,000, that woman cannot go and receive from the bank on a credit.
Present at the fundraising drive was the Special Presidential Advisor, Odrek Ruabogo, who urged the Tororo residents to put more efforts into farming if they are to eradicate poverty.
Agriculture, with a country like ours, when you add skill, when you train people and incentivize them to go back to the farm instead of riding border borders in town. Secondly, offer a little seed startup capital. Thirdly, find the market. That's all. The rest can happen. I am confident that agriculture will be here 1,000 years from now, but oil won't be here.
Philip Aguta for UBC News.
We thank her for accepting.
Moving on from that, State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, has commended the Catholic Church for nurturing, mentoring and bringing up the youth as disciplined, respectful, calm and hardworking citizens. The minister was on a working visit to Nyenga Catholic Seminary in Biko, Wikwe district. He encouraged the seminaries to embrace the new curriculum by vocalizing them, going and taking evangelism to social media to enable every priest reach each other.
This is St. Joseph's Nyenga Catholic Seminary in Lugazi Diocese, Wikwe District, established in 1924 to train the youth into priesthood. The seminary is in preparations for the centenary celebrations next year, 2024, and many priests have been trained in this seminary. The centenary celebrations, due in July 2024 preparations, have been launched by the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, at seminary campus in Nyenga, Wikwe District.
Centenary celebrations 1924-2024. Congratulations.
Dr. Muyingo inspected the parade of the seminarians accompanied by the Bishop of Lugazi Diocese, the Right Reverend Christopher Kakoza, and a cross-section of priests. Later, Bishop Right Reverend Christopher Kakoza, assisted by priests, led the colorful mass, which also coincided with a fundraising drive towards the completion of the centenary building, and Minister Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo contributed 20 million shillings. Muyingo encouraged seminarians to embrace the new curriculum, vocationalize, take evangelism to social media to reach out to communities.
We continue offering quality education to Ugandans. The need for seminaries in this country is obviously is growing every other day, which is a very good development. We as the citizens, we need to support them, and the government will support the good work that's going on in such education institutions. My prayer is that they do operate within the rules of the game, the laws of the country. And we have a new curriculum. I expect them to embrace it, and I think they have already done that, but I just want to say, let them do more.
The Bishop of Lugazi Diocese, Right Reverend Christopher Kakoza, says in the seminaries of Catholic Church, students are trained to be good priests. The guests were received at Nyenga Seminary by the rector, the clergy, staff and the students' community. Sudat Kaye and Fred Kasivante, UBC News.
State Minister for Local Government Victoria Businge Rusoke, who also doubles as the Kabarore District Women Member of Parliament, has encouraged all women in the district to embrace government's anti-poverty programs. Minister Rusoke made the call during the belated Women's Day district celebrations for Kabarore District that was held in Kijura Town Council. Details follow.
State Minister for Local Government Victoria Businge Rusoke has disclosed that after NRM successfully pacifying the country, efforts are to empower communities with poverty eradication skills. She said that government has now rolled out Parish Development Model Program that is targeting 38% households that still live under the poverty line.
Parish Development Model enkurakurana enyirarererwa hamuruka bwaitu bakomemu abantu byaro byaitu abali kubi muno tubakolemu ekitebe hamuruko ogu kyeremberwe chairman wo muruko ogu abeho no mukazi hawa women council abeho no mulema abeho n'ensingango nuko tubazolemu ebasobora okukora government ebareyo ekazi kwa yamuyoniemu.
Rusoke said that the program has been rolled out after a careful study by government.
Bantu bali miruka yeitu mu byaro byeitu hati ni bwoko muramu obulo Parish Development Model enkurakurana enyirarererwa hamuruka bwaitu bakomemu abantu mu byaro byeitu abali kubi muno tubakolemu ekitebe hamuruko ogu kyebembebwe chairman w'omuruko ogu habeho n'omukazi wa women council habeho n'omulema habeho n'ensinganto.
She warned program beneficiaries against misusing the available funds.
Nahabweki mutumanyisa amakuru apo habwokuba nituhurra ngo harumwe abakamasho officer abakozi abaitwa aba government ngo abasabira akasenta abantu orane na kwandike lete kumibi harimo abandi abahandikira abantu ababo batesire rukurato nabo bonko kwechenchura bakayamu abanakurunkuche nubo bakaba kukitebe.
Minister Rusoke also applauded NRM government for uplifting the standards of a woman and entrusting women with big public positions in the country. Lands Minister Judith Navakoba, who officiated the function, lauded Victoria Rusoke for her hard work and commitment to the people of Kabarole.
NRM etukoledde bulungi. Gavumenti endala abaaliwo mukimanyi nti omukyala wabeeranga manju mu kiyungu kufumba nga tosobola nakwata kazindalo kano kuteesa ng'abaami bateesa.
Navakoba said that through Minister Victoria Rusoke, her office had already received petitions about pending land evictions in Kabarore district. Navakoba directed the office of the RDC to ensure that no person is evicted. She emphasized that her office, using the Uganda Land Fund, has already started the process of compensating all the landlords and also issuing land titles to the squatters. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom Voice Bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
The Chillax bundles from Airtel have been upgraded. Introducing Voice Chillax bundles. No validity, no expiry, no worries. Dial *100 *1#, select voice bundles and choose your preferred Voice Chillax bundle today. Talk longer with loved ones across Uganda with Voice Chillax bundles that don't expire. Airtel, the smartphone network.
With God, comfort replaces pain. Peace replaces confusion. Hope replaces sorrow. God loves you and knows you personally. He hears you and speaks to you in your thoughts, in your heart, and through living prophets. Come, hear the words God has for you. Watch the General Conference on Sunday, 2nd of April.
Are Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Thank you so much for still watching UBC News Tonight. Now, the Senior Presidential Advisor on Manifesto Implementation, Professor Ephraim Kamuntu, has suggested that savings and credit cooperative organizations, SACCOs, act as intermediaries of commercial banks in the implementation of the Parish Development Program. Take a look.
Professor Ephraim Kamuntu's knowledge on issues to do with how best to improve people's livelihoods through better income is undoubted. He has in fact been at the fore of many reforms in this country and is now backing savings and credit cooperative organizations to be intermediaries to deliver an efficient parish development model.
They have penetrated in the rural areas. These circles are also linked to commercial banks. The country is not the same. There are regions where you have these strong, very strong existing circles. They would be more efficient to become intermediaries of the parish circles which we have formed. Because we are going to form 10,594 circles across the country. In some regions, you don't have a commercial bank nearby. In other regions, you have existing circles which are very strong. So to minimize distances and inconvenience travel, you could use these ones as intermediaries.
But whereas the former Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs advises, it's the SACCO leadership like at Bugonji and Kitagata to confirm readiness to deliver.
Bugonji SACCO is ready to accommodate them and to serve the members of the PDM very well. The way we have been serving our traditional members. We welcome the idea, the government policy, and we are ready to implement it and help our members grow.
We have modern facilities for keeping money in terms of save. We have experienced security groups, security firms which are guarding our circles and all our branches. So we believe if they can bank with us, we can even give them some interest.
It is good news for the people of Toro District and Uganda to see that government is in the process of reviving the phosphate manufacturing plant. State Minister for Investment and Privatization, Evelyn Anite, says the investor is back and ready to settle any legally associated challenges. Anite's assurances come a few weeks after Prime Minister Robert Nabanja made a similar affirmation while touring the same factory.
This is how glittering the phosphate and fertilizer manufacturing plant looked the day it was commissioned in the year 2018. Found in the Eastern District of Tororo, the occasion was graced by the President of Uganda.
Therefore, Uganda will become more competitive business-wise.
Both local and national leaders expressed economic hope in the project. This hope was a few years later dealt a blow. In 2020, Chinese businesswoman Fang Min reportedly filed a case against Guangzhou Dongsong Energy Group, together with Uganda's Huineng Mining, Mao Jie, and Yang Junjia. She accused them of fraudulent and unlawful expropriation of a 26 square kilometer mineral site in Osukulu sub-county in Tororo district. A legal battle would ensue. It is a matter that had come to the attention of the president.
When they came to me, I advised them, I said, if you are quarreling with the other Chinese, if you are quarreling with Fang Min for compensation, that issue of compensation can go to court, but it should not stop the project. Should not stop the project.
No sooner had he given this guidance than this happened.
I heard that a court had stopped the man who had put $630 million on the ground. It's really not. Why stop? Why? If these people are quarreling about who, they can solve that. Why do you stop this?
The once glittering industrial park and the one-time active and running factory machines have since stalled. The recent tour by the Prime Minister nearly invited tears as the appearance of the machineries spoke disappointment. But there is hope.
The President directed me to come and inspect and do the monitoring of this facility so that we can come up with resolutions that can help this facility to move forward.
It is this similar hope that State Minister for Investment and Privatization has shared.
Government went into concession with the Chinese company, and the Chinese companies had got their own misunderstanding, financial challenges and legal challenges. And it is a concession that was given long tenure. So government just could not wake up and kick them out. Government gave them time to resolve their challenges.
Anita's assurance comes with good news of the investor resuming operations.
The concessionaire of Sukuru, the investor, has come back, and he indicates that he's been able to resolve the legal challenges around the phosphate, which was an impediment to the development of our fertilizer factory.
On avoiding similar challenges in the future, this is the answer from State Minister for Investment and Privatization, Evelyn Anite.
It's not a straight curve in business. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down. So you just have to keep on supporting them. And this is what I do as the Minister of Investment. My job is to ensure that when they're going down, I have to help them to keep them afloat. Give them the encouragement, create more demand for their product.
The revival of the phosphate manufacturing plant in Tororo is an addition to Uganda's quest for industrialization. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Still watching UBC News Tonight. In our sports stories, a sports gala drawing corporate companies around Lira City has been launched at Town College Sports Grounds today. Now, the monthly event is not only to promote sports, but also wellness of professionals employed in the different participating companies. Take a look.
5 companies operating in Lango sub-region have today participated in the first ever sports gala launched in Lira City.
You can see Coca-Cola on pitch A.
The initiative brings together different corporate companies to participate in different sporting disciplines, both outdoor and indoor games.
So many people go out there and sit in their offices from Monday to Monday. So we thought, like, if we have one day, like in a month, we just come and power all that stress that we have been having in the offices, maybe even at home. We come here with our children, they have fun, you know. By the beginning of the new month, we are all fresh.
Zainabu said the Gala Day is not only geared towards promoting sports, but to enhance performance of professionals who are always engaged in the entire week. Companies like MTN, Liracity Elite, The Place, and Coca-Cola participated in football, volleyball, ludo, and the traditional board game Mweso.
You all know that most of the decisions are made from these social gatherings and formalized in the offices. We want to break the chains of the office work and have our corporates very fit.
Team to participate, it has to pay 150. But then there's also that team which wants to be an annual subscriber. They subscribe 1 million for a whole year. All fee that comes out can be kept to help the what? The community. Like we have a plan to go and visit the baby's home.
A dental clinic from Lira Regional Referral Hospital was extended to the pitch where spectators received free dental services.
Everyone knows that I always brush, but they even don't know when exactly to brush. Because once you tell the person, at what time do you brush? The person tells you very early in the morning. Then you ask yourself, do you know why you are supposed to brush anyway? Yet brushing, its primary objective is to remove food you have eaten that very time. So in the morning, if you wake up very early in the morning and you brush, someone will ask you, did you spend the whole night eating?
Although many did not turn up, the few who came were excited to witness the beginning of a new development that will occur monthly in the city. Eddie Oloa, UBC News.
Ever wondered how Uganda's female athletes put up an incredible performance and yet maintain the feminism in them? Well, as some say that being a female athlete in male-dominated sports industry, one has to forget acts of a woman, and yet some tend to differ. Ngabo Emon highlights what it means for one to fit in and for one to still be sexy at the same time.
At Kingdom Plaza in Kampala is a beauty shop, Alu Nails, that looks at the well-being of ladies of class. Among those that attended services of pedicure and manicure are legislators, business ladies, and sports women. The work on someone's nails takes to around 3 hours, and yet the ladies are patiently waiting. But to a sports lady, one would wonder if they have the patience to sit still for 3 hours to have nails done.
I think if anyone feels like they want to, get the nails done, their feet scrubbed or anything, I think it's okay. Just because we are sports people doesn't mean we don't get to take care of our nails. Yeah.
It feels so great as sports women. People think that we can't look good, but it's part of life. We have to look nice. I feel so good after the thing. Yeah. We have to look good because as women, it's part of life. Looking good, it's part of us. Yeah, we have to look good.
But as it is certain that being a sports personality doesn't change the fact that you are a female and need to look beautiful.
Nails, but for them we do them, it is very important, but for them we do them short ones. We don't make them like long ones because they can be playing and another, she can scratch another friend, so we keep them short.
And watching some of the women rugby games and other games, the kind of rough and physical contacts, you would think that these ladies don't spare time to look beautiful. And as we conclude the month of women, Plascon has added color to the women in the country through empowerment and offer to more than 30 ladies to have their nails worked on.
We have very many women that are connected to the brand as Plascon, and we thought of as Plascon a colorful world. How can we give back to women? We decided to look at a way that is very colorful and very meaningful to the women, and the only way we thought about that is painting, putting different colors on their nails, coloring their world. We decided to look at the different ladies that are in the sports field. For example, cricket, football, she cranes of netball. Those ones are well known to all of us. So these are people that have put our country to an international scene. They are, we can talk of the Shikrins, these are number 6 in the world. So they are doing great. They're putting our country out there. So we also decided to give back to these ladies. We thought of a way that they would also appreciate and also bring out the feminism in them.
Female athletes and leaders are undeniably more visible and increasingly successful in sport, putting in incredible performances both on and off the field. But these achievements still occur in a male-defined sports sector where female stars have to tackle marginalization and sexualization of their sports performance and leadership skills.
That's all we had for you in this hour. Thank you so much for watching. Do join me again at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. My name is Sharon Chondusha.